I've got something to say as well.
Oh, God. You've all got something to say.
That never ends well.
Don't sit anywhere near me. I don't like the smell of me.
Away.
Looks like a lactose intolerant bloodhound.
I don't care whether you're black, white, green, yellow, pink or purple.
Has he taken a handful of crazy pills?
I think he must have done.
I think it's a bizarre idea.
And nobody's talking about it.
Can I just say something very quickly about this?
Oh, I know you will, because you always do.
Can you imagine Lee Banks wiring up a radio studio?
Oh, yes, and then it would subsequently burn down.
Correct.
RTI. Enjoy.
I hope you certainly do. This is Eric Wiltshire at the base of the lovely Tatras Mountains, bathed in sunshine today. We're enjoying ourselves here in Central Europe. It's lovely. We are going to be a bit serious in the programme, but first of all, we better get hold of Rach. And we better get Lee on the microphone, and then I'll say hello to people. Charles, I can't read that bit out with the B word. It's not allowed on the radio. It's very naughty. You can say, hi girl, you to love. You can do that, but you can't do the other word. It's very, very naughty. Good afternoon, Mr. Banks.
Was he using the Baldry word?
Kind of.
It's very rude of you to say that about Long John Baldry. He
What?
was one of the gods of the blues and
jazz.
And jazz. He was a genius. 6'7", 19 stone. He was gorgeous.
And a member of the LGBT community.
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
What's wrong with that?
No, nothing. I'm just saying.
It
Just
didn't
saying.
need pointing out. That's just actually that is actually thingy. What's it?
Is that right? Is that
Whatever that was, I'm
racist,
trying to
racist
say.
things?
Racist in a gay way.
Derogatory. Yeah, right. Where else I'm going? I don't know. I'm lost. But I found somebody. The producer's here. Hello, Rach.
Hello, Rach.
Hello all.
How are you?
Well, I'm still bald, and that's okay.
You're still bald.
Yes, I'm still bald.
Rachel, will you slap his hand for me?
It's better than him slapping
Yes, I
it.
will.
Thank you.
Just one moment. There you go.
Thank you very much indeed. He was fiddling around with the wrong mouse, and any more button pushing, he would have cut us off the interweb.
Oh, that was funny.
The other, thank
you.
God. If you're watching, I know they can't see you on the telly, can they?
They can. I'm here.
Oh, there he is. He's over there. He was fiddling with the wrong bits. Hello, Rach. How are you?
Well, that's like
I'm
Long John
all right.
Baldry was.
Good. Well, if you ask Long John Baldry, he was fiddling with the exact right bits.
Well, it could be, yes.
I'm really well. Do you know why I'm excited? I'll tell you why. I'm so glad you asked. I'm excited because in a couple of weeks' time, I don't have to do this stupid 11 p.m. thing.
Oh, no, because you're changing clocks, aren't you?
Oh, yeah?
We change clocks and then you change clocks. So it'll be 10 o'clock and then it'll be 9 o'clock. And that's way more civilised.
9 o'clock in the evening, you'll still... hang on, won't you still be washing up and doing Robbie's ironing?
No, that'll never happen.
Rachel, he's being terrible. He's being terrible.
I mean,
Robbie can do his own ironing. But there is one more thing that I have to do, and
What?
it would be remiss of me not to.
Okay. Hang on, do you want a drum roll?
Yes, please. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Uncle Lee. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
No.
It's all right.
You sounded just like Diana Dawes.
That wasn't Diana Dawes.
Did she fiddle with the right bits?
It was Marilyn Monroe.
It was a bit.
Diana Dawes was gorgeous, just like you, Rach.
Oh, that's so nice.
But she had hair.
Marilyn Monroe, but I've got a bit of a husky voice this evening.
Oh. Anyway, before we do the serious matter of the day, don't let Lee rewire a studio. Look what happened when he tried to rewire Chernobyl. That's very true.
Who's Nobble?
No.
It's very true. We got buckets of kisses from Charles. I like that one.
Charles
kissing us.
Charles has given us kisses all over the place, literally, and that graphic is quite fun. But we won't go there because otherwise I'll get into hot water more than I already am. But that's another story in its own self. Steve doesn't like birthdays; they should be cancelled.
You know what, Steve? Suck a lemon.
You should have seen him on Wednesday at the Poprad English Club. He was drinking beer.
Who was?
You
Gosh.
What is that?
Why?
Why? Because I like beer.
He's
But it's
a
only
cocktail
little.
man now.
That's what I thought.
The beer is actually, it's stupid because they serve it in such tiny little bottles. It's gone in one gulp, but it's absolutely gorgeous, Rach. It's beautiful. I wish Rob was here. He'd drink lots of it with me, not like him.
Thank you.
He's actually. Do you know what? I've got to tell you this funny, quick story, and I promise it'll be quick. Robbie's up in a place called the Pilbara at the moment, which is on the west coast of Australia.
Where?
It's about three-quarters of the way up.
Where you can see huge Australian road train lorries.
That's true.
That's very
interesting.
interesting.
And many other great big structures and many other great big pieces of machinery. But at the moment, they're all feeling a little bit nervous because there's a Category 5 cyclone headed in their direction.
Ooh.
But by the time it hits them, it'll probably be about a Cat 2. So he might get a little bit of a stiff breeze up his kilt, but he'll get a lot of rain. But the preparedness for this thing with all these guys up on these sites, the very first thing at the top of the list of preparedness is put the beer in a safe place.
I like your style, Robbie.
Absolutely.
That's the right way to do it. Okay, boys and girls, we're going to have to get on. But first, we are going to do a bit of a public service information thing because we've got to. No, we haven't got to. We are just going to do it.
It's very, very interesting.
It's very, very important.
And it has more ramifications on the face of it than it actually appears to have.
It does indeed. And I thank the what are known as the Slovak Foreign Police for popping it over to us. That's very kind of you. And it's information about residents in the Slovak Republic in connection with the UK and Northern Ireland leaving the European Union, i.e. Brexit. I know it's not finished yet, but go with me because it will eventually happen, and so there we go. So, pin back your lugholes, as they say, and I'll do it in my bestest voice.
Are you going to read it all?
No, I'm going to paraphrase it.
Paraphrase it. Do it as a parrot fashion.
Thank you. I knew I'd get your vote of confidence and try to put me off. Mitchell, will you just tell him to shut up? Because Mitchell said, hello, Eric and co.
I'm a co.
You're a co.
Right.
I'm a co. So if, as a UK national and all your family members have resided in the territory of Slovakia for more than 5 years on the date of the UK leaving the European Union, you will automatically, thank you Slovakia, you will automatically obtain long-term residency according to some parliamentary acts. And it will effectively mean that yours truly will become an EU citizen. Isn't it very, very nice?
Interesting.
And
really good.
and a pucker card, which will also enable me to go around Europe unhindered through the Schengen region anyway.
Yeah.
Now, what they're going to do, so don't panic, boys and girls, everybody that's already registered with a proper ID card here for residency will receive a temporary paper type of card, which will have your name on it. It's got the EU flag on the top, yada, yada, yada. And you will then pop to your nearest foreign police station and pick up your proper card as and when it's ready. And you've got up till the end of 2020 to do it. But they are saying, please don't leave it till the end of 2020. So we have a rush. Can we get it all done slowly? So just go over there, phone them up first, see if you can get there, whatever. Now, if you are a UK national and not been here terribly long, or less than 5 years at the date of the UK leaving, you will automatically be able to obtain permanent residence for 5 years. Isn't that nice? And that's according to another load of acts and bits and bobs. This means you do not have to apply for this type of permanent residence. However, do get in touch with them and check it all out, and away you go from there. So what Slovakia is basically doing, in the same way that the UK is doing to Slovaks, is that if you have lived here for a considerable period of time, you will be given an EU card, a residence card of a European citizen, issued by Slovakia. It will enable you to go unhindered around the Schengen region. If you have a Slovak partner, you'll be treated exactly the same as a Slovak citizen. How do you feel about that, then?
I think it's all very, very good. And I think it's very caring. I think it's very sharing. I think it's in the right spirit. I think it does exactly what these circumstances are demanding. And like you say, England is basically doing something similar as far as we're aware.
It's an exchange thing. Now, the other thing to bear in mind is that although there is going to be a reciprocal arrangement about driving licences. So a British licence will be valid here and a Slovak licence will be valid in the UK. The advice is, before the Brexit date, go to your local police station and get yourself a free Slovak driving licence. You can just swap your English one for a Slovak one. It's still valid in the UK, because there's an agreement, but it's also valid in all the other EU member states.
That's very interesting.
Which your paper one, if you've got a paper one or an English one, it won't necessarily have a reciprocal arrangement. It may do, it may not. But by going to the police station, getting your driving licence, which is free to get, you'll need a photo if you haven't got one. They will issue with a driving licence, and away you go. Now, if you are here because you've retired, do bear in mind that a Slovak driving licence runs out at the age of 65. Although it runs out, it's kind of weird. It's kind of valid, but it's not. What you have to do to validate your driving licence is get a letter it's a note that you put with your licence from your doctor who tells you can drive. And that's every 2 years. So you don't renew the licence, you just get permission from your doctor to say you're not going to die when you're driving behind the wheel or something. And therefore, your licence carries on ad infinitum. Unlike the UK, when you get to 70, which is the age of the licence in the UK, and then you apply for a new one. So it is slightly different. Just be aware of it. What, sir?
I just wanted to ask very quickly. Don't look at me like that. You're making me laugh. When you said about taking your licence in and getting it exchanged for free, how long have you got to have been in the country to do that?
If you are residing here a week.
Oh, right, interesting, very interesting.
You can do that, but they will want you to have a residence card to show that you are staying here.
Yeah, it's not like just because you fancy having a different licence.
Exactly. Exactly. And the other thing is, what the foreign police have said is that if for some reason you decide to leave Slovakia when you've been issued with all these wonderful things, do them a kindness. Just send them an email and say you're going back to the UK. That's all you've got to do. And
that's if you're going back for an extended period or permanently.
If it's an extended period, a couple of months or so, it doesn't matter. But if you're genuinely leaving the Slovak Republic, drop them an email so they know you've left the country, and they will then cancel your permanent residence here. So you're not part of the Slovak Republic anymore. You've gone back to Britain. It does not impact on your passport. Your passport, if you're British, remains the same, and there are no differences whatsoever. I knew this would prompt some comments, but here we go. Hello, Joe. How are you? Brexit is like the song Hotel California. You can check out, but never leave. The laughing stock of Europe, the UK Parliament. Calling them Muppets would be slander on Kermit and the gang.
Gosh.
Steve says, hang on, it's Corbyn's fault. I think he's on
drugs. Come on, Steve, explain
He's on drugs.
Oh, he's clearly drunk.
Right, so it's Corbyn's fault that May made such a terrible speech the other day as he forgot to charge her batteries. How silly.
Yeah, that's an old joke, Steve. You can't recycle stuff from Facebook.
That's really,
come on,
really
be,
old.
be imaginative and
Yeah,
say something new.
That's really bad,
That's really... Anyway, thank you very much to the foreign police in Slovakia. They are actually the unit of the foreigners police, to give them their correct title, in Slovakia. They're really good guys. There isn't a problem going over there. It's not horrific. It's very, very simple. And they will help you out, and then everything will be marvellous. But don't wait till the end of 2020 to get it done, because otherwise it'll just be a mess with everybody going there, and we don't want to queue up for hours. So just go over there and get it done. There is going to be time now because of the extension. Whichever way it goes, there will be a longer period now, because that's been agreed. So next Friday is not the cut-off point, but go now, or not right now, because they'll be going home in a minute, but do go over in the next couple of weeks and just get it done, and then life will be a peach.
A peach.
A peach?
Yes, with a P.
With a P.
Yes.
I said it with a P.
You did. It spat everywhere.
Other than that word that Charles used earlier. That began with a B.
Baldry.
Yeah, Baldrick. I hand over to Rachel.
Yes. Why?
Dick Dale.
Dick Dale. Did he know of John Baldry?
I could not give this story to Lee Banks.
Yes, you can. Because
I can't.
Yes, you can. Because he can be a grown-up. I know he can. I believe in my heart and soul that he can.
Poor old Dick, eh? Poor old Dick.
Well,
Dick is dead. Dick has died. Dick has shuffled off this march.
Rachel, I told you he was going to do this. I knew.
Dick had got to 81, you know. Then he died. But he was famous for his surf music. Anyway, yeah, he used to play guitar. This is Dick Dale, right? Oh, you can't get past it, can you?
No.
Who was probably one of the most influential guitarists in the whole of rock history. He played with the Beach Boys. He played with everybody you can think of, Bob Dylan, everybody you can think of. And his career at the age of 60-odd was revitalised when Quentin Tarantino decided that he wanted a bit of Dick in Pulp Fiction.
I knew he was going to do that, Rach. I knew.
I know. I'm a little bit disappointed too, but that's okay. I mean, hope springs eternal.
It does indeed, doesn't it?
You did say hope.
I said hope, not Bob. No, don't go there.
Don't you go.
No, I'm not going there. Our Sunday night man has just arrived, Keith Lewis.
Hello, Keith.
Doing the night train every Sunday. It's amazing. It is. You just got to listen. It is classic Keith Lewis. Not classic as in old music, but classic as in his style.
Yeah.
And when he makes music, he makes music. Don't miss it. Sunday night, Monday morning. The Night Train on RTI. Graham Melville Mason.
Yes, now this is interesting, isn't it?
What?
No, it's an interesting...
What, the bloke's died?
Yeah, no, well, this is interesting that he's died. He wouldn't be on the screen if it wasn't interesting that he died.
The bloke's died and that's interesting.
Of course it's interesting. That's why we do a dead people section.
It's sad.
It is sad. It's sadly interesting. It's sad that it's interesting.
I apologise, everybody. I do.
Graham Melvin Mason has died. He's dead.
Yes.
And he was a Czech.
It's terrible because, that's Mel and Dick. It's really not good.
Oh, no. I wanted to keep this programme sincere today.
He was a classical music aficionado, a Czech classical music aficionado, and he drew links between the Czech and British musicians, and he created this world. Anyway, he's died now, and he was 85.
Ah, okay. Anyway, the Croatian Knights join us. Hello, as Philip and Sam.
Hello, Sam.
Hello, Sam. How are you, Sam?
Hello, Sam.
Instax is there. She's nice.
Who is?
So she puts little like things up on the
Who
screen.
does?
Intax.
Intax?
Yeah, puts little like
Is that
things.
her name?
No, it's a nickname, dear boy.
Why'd you got a nickname called Intax?
Keith Lewis has just said, I'll send you a cheque next week. No need, sir. No need. And by the way, Lee will never grow up, as you can't be a journalist and be an adult.
That's perfectly true.
Yeah, it's true, actually. Anyway, back to poor old Graham.
He's dead.
He maintained links between Czech and British musicians, but...
Rachel, I've not just said this.
Excuse me. But it was before 1989, which is the key point.
Very interesting point. You're quite right.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I respect you.
Eh?
I respect you for making that point.
Gosh. Can I have that in writing with blood?
No.
All right.
That's that hope springs eternal thing.
You see and he also used to fix it up for Czech students to get accommodation in the UK to help them along a little bit. And he also worked at Edinburgh University in Scotland. And it's really funny. There are so many people that are hooked from him in Slovakia over to Scotland.
There is a very great link between Scotland and...
Well, you know the original link, don't you?
It's the Celts.
No, it's a monk.
A monk?
A monk. You know, did you ever see when you were here, Rach? You got the carvings of the two monks everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, those carvings represent the two monks that came here in about 800 AD and was so impressed by the people in what's called the Spish region that they wrote to the Pope and said to the Pope, these people here could be converted. What shall we do? So he said, why don't you have a diocese? And it was the first diocese outside of Rome.
Dialysis?
Gosh. I think the sun's got to him, Rach.
Did they basically set up a business? Of,
a church?
A church, like to convert people.
Yes.
So it was a monkey business.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
I apologise, Philippe. I do, Philippe. Just don't worry about it.
I don't apologise. I think it's terrific.
I think it is as well. I've got to do this. I've got to do this one properly. G'day, Rob.
G'day, Rob.
G'day, Rob.
G'day, Rob, because he says "G'day, guys."
Is that my Robbie?
That's your Robbie.
That's your Robbie. Thinks you're a bloke.
Hi, Robbie. Do you know why he's listening? This is great. He's listening because it's 3 hours earlier over there. So the man's still conscious.
He's still conscious at the moment. So what you're basically saying is the beer wagon hasn't run out yet.
Well, he's not hidden it all yet.
It hasn't run out yet.
It's true. Julie Adams, the actress, pursued by the creature from the Black Lagoon, whose apparently her legs were insured for $125,000 back then. Blowing me, she died.
They were pretty good pins.
Were they?
Yeah, they were.
I don't know.
Well, because you're not interested in things like that, are you?
I've never seen. I can honestly tell you, I've never seen the movie Creature from the Black Lagoon.
It was the first 3D movie ever made.
I know the technology of it.
Yeah,
because you had to people used to cheat and get the wrappers from Sweeties.
Aye.
Yeah, from Quality Street, the red plastic and the green plastic, stick them onto glasses, and then try and see the movie. That's how it worked with 3D glasses.
Are you telling the truth?
Yep.
I think he's making that up, don't
I'm
you,
not.
Rachel?
Somebody
Come on, Dave. Dave, you're the technology person. Is he making that up, that you could use wrappers off Quality Street?
No, it didn't work, but that's what they were proper.
Oh, right. It didn't work.
I think that's what Uncle Eric did, because he must do everything himself like the the original 3D was done with a green and a red lens on a pair of paper glasses or cardboard glasses, and so people figured they could use any old plastic, and they used the wrappers from Quality Street. Other Sweeties are available, of course it doesn't work with the Quality Street. Well, it's like, do you know what? It's as effective as using cling wrap as birth control.
I've got an image in my head I can't talk about. Oh, dear. Anyway, Julie Adams has died at the grand old age of 92, which is fab. That's a good age.
It is.
That's a good age.
Such is dead, though.
Okay, we're going to be serious for a minute, boys and girls, so calm down. Following the Christchurch mosque shootings, The Prime Minister, she actually said it the day after, and now has actually applied this. New Zealand is to ban military-style weapons being sold to the public. And I have to say, America, just take notice.
Absolutely.
Jacinda Ardern has been absolutely, she's a star during this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just a woman of really strong character and grace. And she's really an impressive lady. And she's got a 9-month-old baby too. So, and she's Prime Minister. She's just unstoppable. But the thing that I like about this was they took a leaf out of our book in 1996 when we had the Port Arthur massacre.
Yes, of course.
Which was the very last mass shooting that took place in this country. Our Prime Minister banned the same weapons, and he did it 12 days after it happened. He got it done in 12 days. She's got it done in 6, which is really, really impressive. But she's also introduced a buyback for guns, and we did the same thing. There was also an amnesty period where you could get rid of stuff that you shouldn't have.
I actually saw the archive of that.
We haven't had an incident since then, and they won't either. She's really, she's done a great job.
And I think there's a lesson to be learned there as well, Rach, for the UK, re-guns. Re-knives, rather.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get the knives turned in left, right and centre, and kind of like... It's a bit like buying alcohol in the States. In many states, you've got to show your ID as being 21. It wouldn't be a bad thing if you couldn't buy a knife until you were at least 21, rather than being...
We can't here. And
you can't.
Even when you go to the supermarket and you're going to buy, a really, really sharp knife, some supermarkets you can't. You have to go to the counter and ask specifically for them, and then you have to show ID. But if you get caught with a knife that you're not supposed to have by the police here, you're in big trouble, and they'll confiscate that weapon.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
You have to be hard on it.
Yeah,
because in Britain, do you know, as far as I'm aware anyway, you don't have to register or sign anything to buy a knife, but you do to buy a telly.
You have to. Well, there's a reason for that.
Well, I know, but it's a bit silly.
Yeah, the rules. There's 2 television licences in the UK. One is a domestic licence, which you fill in a little bit of paper, as you do here, funnily enough. And the other licence lasts for 7 years, and I think currently it's £5 or £7.50. And that's what I used to have.
I'll tell you very quick.
I was a dealer, you see.
I'll just tell you a very, very quick story about that, because I went into the local electrical shop and bought a telly, and was quite affronted by the fact that they asked me to give my name and address because I was buying a telly. And I had a bit of a confrontation with them anyway. Ultimately, I did it. I went back in about a month later with Andrea to buy a Hoover. And after we paid for it, they asked for my name and address. And I was really affronted that they were asking for my name and address for buying a Hoover, a sweeping implement. And I caused quite a bit of a ruckus until Andrea pointed out, says, the reason they're asking for the address is so they can deliver it.
Oh, no. Hello, Ryan. Ryan, where have you been?
Where have you been, Ryan?
Right, Ryan.
Yeah, where's your tardy slip?
Yeah, you're 30 minutes late, Ryan. That's just not good enough.
And that you've lost the B off your name, like Baldry.
Oh, dear. Apparently it's been reported...
all the dead dick stuff. That's terrible.
Oh, stop it again.
Don't do that. That's...
Rach, we need your help.
We do.
Yes.
Seriously, it's been reported somewhere that Sky, as in Sky Australia, has been banned in NZ because of showing the killer's video. Now, I can't believe that.
Well, but why can't you believe it? I mean, everybody wasn't supposed to show that thing. The only people who seemed to be allowed to do it were all the people that really, really shouldn't, like Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all those.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can log into Sky AU anywhere you like on the internet, so they could hardly ban it. It'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, but they shouldn't. I mean, they
might have taken it off a couple of cable networks or something.
A news channel shouldn't be showing graphic stuff like that anyway.
No, it shouldn't.
And they really shouldn't, because it might be on in the living room while the kiddies are eating their dinner or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's just not appropriate to have on a widely received.
We're going to have to take a break, boys and girls. We're late already. We'll be back in less than a minute on Postcard from Poprad.
RTI.
Everybody okay? Remember your training, all right?
RNLI lifeboat crews are unpaid volunteers. They rescue 22 people every day. On a lifeboat, training is a matter of life and death, and it costs £1,000 a year for each crew member. As a charity, we receive no UK government funding, so our crew's safety depends entirely on your donations. Please call 0800 543 210 and donate £20 or whatever you can afford. Because next time, this could be for real.
RTI.
From the heart of Europe to the world, this is RTI.
This is an appeal that I simply wish I didn't have to make. In this day and age, how is it possible that 1,400 children will die today from dirty water? The children like Elodie have to drink dirty water from rivers and swamps, risking their lives. Right now, you can help save a child's life. Text the word water to 70080 to give WaterAid £3. WaterAid has the expertise to install pipes, pumps and taps that will bring clean water to children at risk. They just need your support. In the next minute, dirty water will kill another child like Elodie. So please, don't wait to save a child's life. Text WATER to 70080 now to give WaterAid £3. Thank you.
If your dream holiday is 2 hours from the UK, perfect for children and teenagers, young couples and the older visitor, ideal for the physically active and for those who just want to unwind, Aqua City is the destination for you. Described by the Travel Channel as the place that will soon be on everybody's lips, be ahead of the crowd and the envy of your friends, but still enjoy a home from home. Come to Aqua City Poprad, the world's leading green resort.
From the heart of Europe to the world, RTI.
That'll be us then. Back from the break. Don't forget you can give to WaterAid, which does help the people out in Mozambique and all the other areas in South Africa that have been hit tragically by the storms. And these guys don't just do it when there's a storm, they do it perpetually. They're always out there putting the proper piping in, digging the wells properly, purifying the water, and it's an ongoing 365 days a year thing, not just when it's a good idea to have it in the press. They do it constantly. So good on you, WaterAid. We like you. We move on to Lorraine Kelly. Do you know Lorraine Kelly, Rach?
No.
You don't?
No.
Oh, Robbie would like her.
She's a funny little Scottish lady.
She's lovely.
Well, she used to be. She's a bit matronly now.
No, she's still lovely.
She should never have gone on telly in a bikini.
She's still lovely.
It showed her the fact that she isn't quite as lovely as she used to be.
No, she could use an iron now and again, yes.
No.
And good steaming.
Good steaming. Anyway, Lorraine Kelly hosts the programme called Lorraine on morning television for the ITV network. And I'm saying this through gritty teeth because I don't understand.
I don't understand this.
No. Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, HMRC.
Which read about them in the Consumer Watch Foundation, who have only just realised we're half an hour in and have never mentioned.
Correct.
Next week, we will be exposing HMRC.
Absolutely. And I tell you, they took her to court saying she works for ITV. She doesn't. She is a freelance presenter. She does commercials. She does all sorts of stuff, from everything from opening a shop to doing a telly program. She does modelling. As I say, she does TV commercials. She does all sorts of stuff. So she can't work for one person, and that's why she's a self-employed star. Now, HMRC refused to accept that and slapped her with a £1.2 million tax bill. Well, the judge has said, don't be stupid. And what really upsets me about all this is that HMRC back in the day were actually kind of nice people. Honestly, this is true. When I worked at LBC in London, I had to have it's a true story, boys and girls. When I was younger, I had a motorbike accident. I have no teeth, but they don't come out. My teeth are implants. And for years, and every sort of 6 to 10 years, I had to have new implants put in. So I phoned the tax office up, and I said to the bloke, this is going to be the most crazy phone call you've ever had in your life. He said, I hear that all the time, sir. Don't worry. I bet it won't be. So I said, are my teeth tax deductible? And he went, what? So I explained that if I don't have teeth, I can't talk on the radio. So he went, do you know what? I've realised who you are now. Yeah, I get your point. Hold on a minute. Can I call you back? He said, I will call you back. I don't need to go and talk to my boss. It took about 5 minutes. And he said, can you write this down for me? Yes. And he gave me some letters and numbers as a code. And he said, can you give that to your accountant with the bill from your dentist, and your entire £6,000 will be deducted from tax? And I went, do you know, that is just how lovely HMRC used to be. I wouldn't have minded if they just said no. It was just the way they did it. They handled it properly. Today,
they do handle inquiries like that very, very well. It's what they do behind the scenes. You know well what this story is about. You've read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's show the world what they do behind the scenes. It's not the front office, it's the back office.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, and it is crazy that Lorraine was sent a bill for £900,000 income tax and £300,000 for national insurance, when she did not have to pay it.
No.
She didn't have to pay it. And, you know, it was the judge that was on her side, Judge Dean, who said all parts of the show are a performance, the act being to perform the role of a friendly, chatty, fun personality. She was and is an actor.
Do you think he was a fan of hers?
I got a funny feeling that the judge was a lady.
Do you think she was a fan of hers?
Probably.
You know what? You really have to be mindful about what goes on in the back office.
Yeah.
And just ask Long John Baldry.
Oh, my Lord.
Sorry, I'm really tired. I'm saying really inappropriate things.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, bottom line is, this will now open the floodgates for lots of others, because Eamon Holmes is in the same position. Other entertainers are in the same position. And seriously, this is so funny. Eamon Holmes used to present the morning news programme on Sky News, much better than any of the people they've got on there now. He would then jump in a cab, or his driver and car. He would then belt across town at London, and about an hour after he finished at Sky News, he was back on the telly on ITV, and they suggested that he was employed. Well, you can't be, because your boss will tell you can't go. He's nuts. You know, it's just...
There is nothing wrong with HMRC investigating circumstances to see what the reality is. However, they shouldn't be in a position where they willy-nilly slap people with £1 million bills that they actually don't owe. That isn't their job.
And what else has happened?
Go on, then.
It's been to the High Court. The cost of barristers, solicitors,
time,
yada, yada, yada for HMRC is going to be enormous. That money that they've wasted is not going to go to the Duchy now, which is where all the money goes. Therefore, it can't go to schools or hospitals. They have just stopped a teacher being employed.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
stupid are you?
I can't agree with you more. I think
How
it is shameful,
stupid
yeah.
are they? Anyway, the first wife of the £71 million Euro Millions winner, we'll ask Rach about this in a minute, she says it couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke. His second wife, who split up with him a couple of years ago, says, I don't want any of his money. So, Rach, if you split up with this bloke a couple of years ago and you're still married to him, would you go for your half?
No.
No?
No.
No, I wouldn't.
Marry me,
mean,
Rach.
if we
Me.
weren't together anymore, even if we were still married, I'm sure I didn't. Did I pay for some of the tickets?
No.
I don't think I did. So, what right do I have to it?
Okay, all right, I'll let you off then.
Nice one, Rach. Yeah, I think she should get a round of applause for that.
Or even a round of sandwiches.
A round of sandwiches, whatever you want.
Oh, I love sandwiches.
And we're going to stay.
I've never eaten an applause before, but a sandwich is quite good.
We will stay in Australia with Rach,
Yeah.
as Rach has been up to or down to the south of Australia, and she put a naughty jellyfish on the beach and conned
It wasn't
everybody.
a jellyfish.
What was it? What did you put on the beach, Rach?
It was a sunfish.
A sunfish.
What's a sunfish?
It's a shiny one.
A sunfish. It's a very large. It looks like it's probably the ugliest fish on planet Earth. It's in the ocean anyway.
Apart from a jellyfish.
Apart from the jellyfish, it's a huge, great big fish. They usually are in weight between sort of 250 kilos to a metric ton.
Can't you imagine trying to reel one of them in?
Can you barbecue them?
No. This
Well, you
is
can if you set your house
a
on
massive
fire.
thing. The people who found it thought it was driftwood. They're really quite ugly, and it just looks like driftwood. And that when they went to touch it, it's got like really tough skin, like a rhino.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're not good. I don't think it would be good to eat. I think it would be really disastrous to eat. Having said that, unlike sandwiches, I haven't eaten one, so I really couldn't tell you.
That's the thing.
But
I've never,
this great big. Sorry,
never
go
had
on.
a rhinoceros.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, it could be a rhino fish. I don't know, but they found the this thing on the beach. It was like, what is it? And what's it doing there? And they still don't know how it got there.
Breaststroke.
But as far as I know, it was still alive. It was still alive, but they couldn't get him back in the ocean, and he may have passed away. So really, the sun went down on the fish.
So what you're basically saying is Gordy will be eating him soon.
No, I mean, he's like 50 times the size of Gordy. Gordy would just probably think it's a tree, pee on him and leave.
Well, no, but I mean, Gordy will be having him in his dinner.
Gordy's very particular about what he eats.
Does he? Oh, right.
Yeah,
Gordy,
yeah.
by the way, boys and girls, is Rachel's dog. Well, that's a bit of a shame. Do you know, I genuinely have never, ever heard of a sunfish before.
You need to Google, everybody, get on your Google machine
And have a look at sunfish.
and have a look at a sunfish, because they really are unfortunate looking. They're quite big. They're quite awesome to look at, because they're the weirder the better, I reckon. But this fish is just not something that you would think, oh, what a lovely fish, and you certainly wouldn't think to eat it.
You might actually, if you could eat it. You could eat it, couldn't you? Because it would have flesh beneath the. Here's a question for vegans. Actually, all the vegans out there. One question for you: if God had meant you not to eat animals, why did He make them out of food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have laughed.
No.
All right. Then.
No, I didn't laugh because it's a fair question.
Well, it's quite a logical question, yeah. But I did turn it round once and say to a vegan, "Do you know, I've been really good to you today?" She said, "Why? What have you done?" I said, "I've eaten some meat." She said, "That's terrible." I said, "No, it just means it won't eat your vegetables."
That's true, and
That's true as well.
I think that all vegans are vegetable murderers.
They are indeed. The EU has got some more money in its piggy bank as it's hit Google, which I don't understand why, with a 1.5 billion euro fine for blocking rival online search advertisers.
Because it took an unfair advantage of its power.
So, look, let's just suppose an ailing radio station like Radio Shropshire.
Radio Shop, yeah.
That's alien.
Yeah, that'll do, yeah.
That's alien.
Yeah.
And they say,
no, Jim Hawkins.
we want to have an advert on RTI, and I say, no.
Yeah.
So why would I allow a rival onto my platform?
I agree with you. I can see where you're coming from entirely, but I also see there is a monopoly. There is a difference between... We are not a monopoly station. Google has a monopoly all over the world.
No, it doesn't. Bing's there.
Well, yeah, but Google's the biggest, isn't it?
Yeah, I know that, but...
Google is the biggest.
Who?
It's manipulation. I think it's manipulation of...
I agree.
Data.
I can see where Eric's coming from, but I also see where you're coming from.
But the point is, when you use Facebook and you search for something, it brings you up search engine results.
Yeah.
That's Bing. It's not Google.
Yeah. No, fine.
Because before Facebook was floated on the stock market, they bought in a 10% share.
Yeah.
And part of the deal was them getting the rights to the ad market there.
Yeah.
And so you've got, when you look at it properly, you've got a massive billions and billions of people using Facebook and effectively using Google, using Bing and Microsoft. And then the EU says, do you know, all it shows me is that politicians are completely out of touch with the real world.
Well, it's not the real world, it's the cyber world.
Yeah, but people don't Google as much as they used to.
No, interesting point.
They go and find it on Facebook. They go and find it on Twitter.
What can you find on Facebook? You can't search.
I think Robbie would, if he's still listening, I think Robbie would disagree with you. He's still a big fan of Google.
I'm not. Yeah. I know that it's a huge group.
It's huge.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there are other huge groups like Facebook users who will find stuff from the adverts that Facebook throw at you, or the ones on Twitter, da-di-da-di-da. There are so many marketplaces out there, but people still think the only one that counts is Google, and it doesn't.
You can't search for historical fact, you can't search for news, you can't search for celebrity, you can't search for football, you can't on Facebook.
Yes, you can.
Well, you could use that.
The search bar.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Well, so I could put Daily Mail in that search bar, and I would get the Daily Mail up to the minute news.
If you click on the right button, yeah, same as Google. Because when you put the Daily Mail into Google, it doesn't give you the news.
No,
that's what I mean. Gives you entries.
Yeah, interesting. So Facebook, you are saying, David Rose, tell me if he's right.
He's not there today. He's coming in later.
You are saying that you can use Facebook as a research tool in every way that you would use Google.
9 times out of 10, yeah.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, Rach, I rest my case.
Yeah, but it's 9 times out of 10 because I know that Bing's going to give me the same results.
But Bing's different.
Mitchell says, good afternoon, Mitchell.
Where
have you been? And Dorothy, she hasn't bought a note, and she should know better because she was a teacher.
Exactly.
Yeah, she did.
Tidy slip.
Yeah, absolutely. And Steve comments, but ITV had to accept adverts from Sky. Yeah, I get that, Steve, because there is an absolute legal requirement under Ofcom to do that. Now, the EU is not in control of Google. Google's an American company, whichever way you want to look at it. And they say, if you don't do as we tell you, we'll block you from Europe. Well, that's a dictatorship. I can't see as it can be anything else.
But isn't what's being said is that Google's a dictatorship, really? Google has cemented its dominance in online search adverts and shielded itself from competitive pressure by imposing anti-competitive contractual restrictions on third-party websites. That's what they've done wrong.
Yeah. What the EU are saying, Google's a dictatorship, and I'm saying the EU's a dictatorship as well.
I agree with you. I can't help agree with you.
Blimey.
It's horrible.
Rach, are you hearing this?
I know. I
am hearing this.
Is it worrying?
No.
You sure?
No, sometimes. We've been doing this show for over 10 years, and once in a while he talks sense.
Yes.
Oh!
He does.
Oh!
It's weird, actually.
Boys and girls!
There's been a spike lately, and I've noticed it, and I think it's a wonderful thing. I don't know how I feel about you two agreeing. It's just boring to listen to.
It is rather, isn't it? I should say hello to the people.
I like the fighting.
I should say hello to the people that have been here for a very long time,
Yeah.
including Sarah and Chris, Josh Dawson. That's a good name, Josh, because my mum was called Dawson. There you go.
Was she?
Yeah, it's her maiden name. Jeremy's there, as is Kevin and Peter. Peter. We like Peter. Where are you from, Peter?
Peter.
I don't know. But Dave J's there
Has he
as
got
well.
any bread?
I don't know. Anyway, Dave J's just arrived. Oh, God. Mount Everest. The melting glaciers is rather scary, really, because it's actually exposing dead bodies.
And how all the people who died on Everest have suddenly come in. 300 mountaineers have died on Everest, and all the bodies are coming back. How horrific is that?
It's a bit scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll
They're
find...
bound to. They're bound to, though, because, I mean...
Eventually.
Well, they're bound to because they can't be brought back down, which is always very sad.
Yeah.
But the fact that everything seems to be melting, including, ice polar caps and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
This was bound to happen, and they were going to be revealed, and hence they have been. I think it's a bit of a, you hope for more ice so that maybe these people can be given back their dignity and covered up again. But I don't know, somebody going to go up there and bury them? What's going on?
Yeah, isn't it a good thing for the families, though, Rach, that they can now
get closure?
Yeah.
They can, but they still can't. I mean, I think the closure would be, being able to bring that body down, and they still can't do that.
No, but they will. If they will know they're there. Number one, and number two, with modern tech, they can monitor it because the glaciers move.
Yeah.
And albeit it might take an incredibly long time, they will ultimately come out at the bottom of the glacier and they will be found.
Yeah.
And that will happen because most of the ones that are at the bottom of the glaciers now are probably 100 years old. It takes that long. But sad thing to find, very sad thing to find. Levi Strauss is worth 6.5 billion in the stock market.
Incredible,
apparently.
Why does everybody wear jeans today? What's happened to people? Why does exactly? And me, have you got jeans on, Rachel, or are you there naked and bald?
No, it's nearly midnight. I'm in my Jimmy jammies.
But you wear jeans, don't you?
No, I don't. Only because I haven't been able to find a pair that fits my 7/8.
That's a nice way.
But I used to when I was younger and more svelte.
Why does everybody wear jeans? How did jeans take over the world?
Because they're just comfortable.
Oh, no, it isn't it funny?
They're
a hardy fabric, and then they became this huge fashion statement. In the 90s, the best thing you could buy if you wanted to be super trendy and cool was a pair of Levi 501s.
Absolutely.
And they were wearing them on all the cool shows. All the kids were wearing them. I was wearing them.
Yep.
And they were my favourite jeans I ever wore. They were super comfortable, and they lasted forever.
I've still got a home, although I've probably said this before. Martina nearly threw it out once. A 1980s original Levi's jean jacket, complete with the proper buttons on, not the plasticky ones. So it's actually brass buttons on them, and it's so thick, the material.
I know, I've got a similar one of these. But seriously, we go on about mobile phones. Is really the jeans business as big as the mobile phones business? Everybody's got it. It's an incredibly massive business.
And the funny thing is, like tech, there's also an anorak historic.
I'm not talking about let's talk about jeans.
Yeah, there is. There are collectors.
They've been featured in. They've been, but they're making a comeback.
Yeah,
and
anoraks.
They went out for a while, and they're making a big comeback.
Yeah,
and they've
I know
also
you're
been,
right, yeah.
And now they'll be They've been featured in Fashion Week in Paris, in New York, in Milan. They're really coming back, and they're coming back at full strength. And this is very savvy of them to want to go public now.
Indeed. Well, I think it might be a little bit of help to the Haas family that now owns it, because they'll be able to pour more money into their Formula One team.
Haas, called Haas.
Yeah, the Haas family. They also own the Formula One team.
So that's where the phrase comes from. Your Haas looks really good in those jeans.
Oh, no. Oh, it's a bad day. Dorothy says, what should I know because I was a teacher? Missed it. Dorothy, you were late. You were late.
Tardiness is terrible in the classroom.
You were late into school today. It's this particular classroom, and therefore I expect a teacher's note to say why you were late.
No, pupils note.
Teachers should know better.
Well, she was probably smoking behind the bike sheds.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. That conjures up all sorts of images too.
Yeah, exactly. What? I know. Oh, no, I can't do that one either anyway.
Why? That's a really funny story.
Oh, go on, then you do it quick.
No, it's just a really funny story. This woman took a dog out for a walk. The dog didn't want to go, and so, like petulant dogs will do, it lay down on the floor and just refused to move. Some workmen were driving by, saw it lying there motionless, thought it was dying because this woman was trying to get it to
drag
move.
It across, yeah,
and so they jumped out, give it a kiss of life, and did that heart response thing like that to it. Anyway, the dog got up and walked off.
Thanks, fellas.
Only Fools and Horses fans are trying to get a statue of Del Boy.
In gold.
In gold. It'd have to be in gold.
Of course he would, yeah.
Come on, Trig, what are you doing? It'd have to be in gold. Outside Nelson Mandela House, which is apparently going to get pulled down, which is kind of a shame, really, but I suppose it's been there for such a long time. But this would actually be a genuine thing, genuine plaque, genuine everything, as opposed to those pretend plaques that are going up here, there and everywhere, especially to that nutter...
Ronnie Pickering, yeah. It's a blue plaque. It's been put up by a company.
It's not a real...
That's what I'm just going to say. It's not a real one.
No.
It's a marketing company who have actually got themselves fantastic amount of publicity by putting a blue plaque up to one of the most ridiculous men ever to walk this earth, Ronnie Stupid Pickering.
Don't give the PR company any marketing. Don't name them.
I would do now if I could remember what they were called.
No, you won't, because that's giving them free advertising, and we're not going to do that. That is not allowed.
You can read about it on the ConsumerWatchFoundation.com, though.
Oh, God, hang on. I've got a note. Dorothy was late, miss, because she was watching Brexit on TV. That's boring.
Oh, very boring.
Yeah,
don't watch that. They won't do anything, and it won't help your morning fibre.
Where's my plaque? There is a picture of my plaque, actually, Steve. It is on Facebook. It has been made, and there is a picture of it genuinely on Facebook. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yes, there was,
yes.
wasn't there? Yeah.
Yes. Then we got one of those spraying machines, didn't we? And we have no more plaque.
Yeah. Right. Rach?
Yes.
Can you bring some sanity in this? I'm just going to quickly say,
right.
There's the one story I love. A 104-year-old woman was granted a wish on her bucket list to be arrested.
She really wanted to be arrested. That was the last thing she wanted to do before she kicked on.
Yeah.
And she hasn't. She's 104. So the local constabulary, I think this is in Bristol.
Yeah.
Went around and cuffed her. And said, "You have been arrested for being an outstanding citizen." And they jumped her in the back of the car.
Yep.
Put it, they do the duck your head down so you don't hit the thing. They did the whole bit, and then they put the lights on and took her off to the local cop shop.
I love it.
It was fantastic.
Ms. Broken Brow, 104 years old. God bless you, my love. Rach, what are you up to this weekend?
I got to work tomorrow. So I don't really know why I'm talking to you fellas, but I am anyway. And yeah, that's about it. I'm doing nothing. Robbie's away, so it's a bit boring.
Oh, I see. So because Robbie's away, you're not going out to the restaurant because he's not paying?
The ball lady will play.
No, I am taking myself to a restaurant on Tuesday because Robbie's away and it's my birthday.
Oh, Rachel.
Isn't that nice?
Isn't that
You going by yourself?
Yeah, I'll go by myself.
With no hair?
Yeah, I'll go bald with a thing on. People will probably think I've got bloody cancer or something.
They'll probably be walking away from you thinking you've gone completely mad.
That's exactly right. So I'm hoping not to put people off.
Just very quickly, is the hair growing back now?
Yeah, it is. Well, I only had a number 1 on the top, so but there has been noticeable growth.
All right. Because actually,
I
keep meaning to say this and I keep forgetting. It's actually really good to have your hair cut that short now and again because it makes your hair stronger.
Well, I think it's terrific. I'm hoping to get a few more distinguished sort of greys when it grows back. But at the moment, I can tell you, because it's still quite warm and humid here, it's lovely and cool when the breeze hits. It's really quite refreshing. Lovely. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Lee, what are you up to?
I have no idea. I do.
Yes, you're helping me.
Am I helping you again? This still hasn't happened.
No, but it's 20 degrees tomorrow here, so we probably will.
And then I'm going to go to McDonald's, which is 30 minutes away from here. And
you're not going to.
I am a vegetarian.
Oh, Gordon Bennett.
I'm not taking anybody.
He's going to use the toilet because he likes McDonald's toilets.
Right.
See, how did you know that? That's exactly what we were talking about on Wednesday.
Because you said it on here like before.
Ages ago.
Yeah. You've told me that story many times. Yes. I always find it very true.
Oh, he's getting old.
They are good toilets.
He's getting old. He's getting old. He's losing his marbles. Not that he had any in the first place. Anyway, Rach, it's time for you to say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
And time for Sooty and Lee to say goodbye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Of course, I'm an idiot. Sooty doesn't speak, does he?
Oh, no, it's not Sooty. This is Harry H. Corbett.
Harry H. Corbett, yeah.
No, it's not Harry H. Corbett. It's the other Harry Corbett.
It's just Harry Corbett Jr. now, isn't it?
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
There you go. That was Postcard from Poprad for another week. Same back channel, same place next week. Wherever you happen to be and whatever platform you are, thank you very much indeed for joining us. We love you all. It's been great fun. Steve's up next here on Radio Tatras International.
The Station of the Stars. RTI.